Now, to conclude this module, we're going to do another case study, which is talking about the TalkTalk and WannaCry cyber attacks. Now, you might have heard of one or both of these cyber attacks because they were very high profile incidents. In the previous lesson, we talked about cyber threat intelligence, how significant it is, and our various, sources of threat intel. Today's focus is real life cyber attacks and how they happened. Now, cyber attacks, as you probably know at this point, are increasingly prevalent and pose significant threats. And to kind of give you a perspective of the real life impact of these cyber attacks, let's just focus on the WannaCry ransomware attack and TalkTalk data breach. So WannaCry, what can happen? How would a ransomware attack make you wanna cry? Well, let's look at this. It's a crypto ransomware, meaning that it would encrypt your device. You lose access to your data, and it would demand you pay cryptocurrency as payment to unlock that data, basically. And it targeted computers running Microsoft Windows worldwide, exploiting a vulnerability in Windows OS that was known. And this, it was worldwide, it was everywhere. Like, it's hard to think of a country that wasn't affected. Businesses, even individuals, like, you could literally just be a random person using Windows on your personal device, and you could be affected by one cry ransomware. I know a few people personally that were affected by this one. Um, Actually, some of the people I've spoken with said this is what sparked their interest in cybersecurity. They were affected by WannaCry ransomware attack, lost access to everything, and then that sparked that curiosity. So maybe it wasn't all that bad, but no, it was very bad, and um, we learned some lesson. Of course, patch management. You want to regularly update software and your operating systems. You want to regularly mitigate vulnerabilities and protect against known exploits. Um, if you were running Windows, but you had that vulnerability patched, maybe you were running a latest version at that time, there's a good chance that you wouldn't have been affected. Um, but of course, there's also security awareness and training, educating users about cyber security risks. Again, a lot of the time, people who were affected might have clicked on a phishing link, and that's what downloaded the ransomware onto the system. Um, And of course, data backups. You need to have like a robust data backup strategy. And you need to include like off-site storage and periodic testing of the restoration process. Because again, if you're not testing the restoration process, if something happens, even if you have a backup, if you can't restore from that backup efficiently, that almost defeats the purpose of doing backup in the first place. Or you might assume that this is how backups are supposed to run, this is what we're doing, and you might assume that you have backups, and that gives you like a sense of safety. But if um it is not actually implemented the way it should be, that could throw things off balance. So it needs to be regularly tested. So let's talk about the TalkTalk Data Breach. This occurred in 2015, and it targeted one of UK's major telecoms companies. And the attackers exploited a vulnerability or vulnerabilities in TalkTalk's websites. And as the attack was being carried out, they did a DDoS attacks to kind of divert attention and divert resources from the company to also like overwhelm the servers and overwhelm the security teams working in TalkTalk. Unfortunately, the attackers gained unauthorized access to systems and customer data was compromised. Actually, over 150,000 TalkTalk customers were affected, and personal and financial information was released or leaked from that cyber attack. And lessons that we learned from this, we need to have like a robust network and infrastructure security system. We need to have regular security audits to make sure that our firewalls and IDS and detection systems are working properly. And when it comes to incident response plan, we need to have established clear protocols for detecting, responding, and reporting security incidents to make sure that there is a shared understanding of, okay, this is how we deal with incidents. And of course, things cannot go exactly according to plan, but having a plan definitely helps. Um, and of course, the plan needs to be tested. You need to have like sessions where you discuss the plan, or maybe even dry run an incident. So when it comes to transparent communication, you want to make sure that all affected parties are communicated to at the right time, and that will help you build trust and allow individuals to take necessary precautions, whether it's your third parties, whether it's your own employees, or even your customers. To conclude, WannaCry and TalkTalk breaches that happened highlights that cyber threats are real. These are things that happen. They affect real people, and organizations have to prioritize robust cybersecurity measures to safeguard our infrastructure, protect our sensitive data, and maintain customer trust. Thank you, and we will meet in the next lesson.